I have something rather serious to talk about. Welcome to the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. Should the Catholic Church deny communion to President Joe Biden because he supports abortion rights? I'm Scoot. I was born Episcopal. I became Catholic when I was married, and I am an ordained minister. I have married people. I'm not opposed to putting voodoo curses on people. And I'm most qualified to talk about this because I'm a talk show host and do social media. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops is proceeding with a plan. It's proceeding. They voted on its proceeding. They're proceeding with a plan to deny President Joe Biden communion because of his pro-choice abortion rights position. Is this right? Now, this would ultimately have to be approved by the Vatican. And frankly, I can't see Pope Francis approving this. I can't. But he might. So let's get into this question here. Should Joe Biden, President of the United States, be denied communion? He goes to church all the time. He even went to church a lot during his trip to Europe. It kind of reminds me of all the times that President Trump used to go to church. Anyway, not to judge. Well, maybe a little. Should Joe Biden be denied communion? Not no, but shit no. Hell no. No. You know, this is being driven by a conservative wing of the Catholic Church. How dare the conservative wing of the Catholic Church try to bring in politics to religion? Let me tell you how pathetic this is. Why single out President Biden or any politician or public figure when it comes to a pro-choice stance? I'm pro-choice. I go to a Catholic church. I go to communion. Should I be denied? No. That's between me and God. And the Catholic Church has had enough of its own problems with covering up sin. The Catholic Church has been far from perfect. That how dare this conservative wing of bishops in the Catholic Church, obviously they're strong enough to have advanced this plan to deny Biden communion. This is terrible. It's judgmental. It's awful. In fact, I'll tell you what is most unfair about it. Just because you're a public figure and people know your position, what about all the people that go to communion? You don't know their position, but they're pro-choice. Are you going to deny all of them communion? Are you going to accept their word? I mean, people lie. Would people lie to go to communion? Maybe. Would people lie and say, "No, I'm pro-life, but really I'm pro-choice. I mean, I really support abortion rights, but I want communion." I mean, would people lie? Of course they would. You know, human beings are very fallible. And this is just an insult. It's an insult to me as a person. It's an insult to me as a Catholic. It's an insult to me as an ordained minister. It's an insult to me as just a human being. So, no, the Catholic Church should not deny communion to President Biden or anybody else because of a pro-choice position. And the interesting thing about pro-choice is you can be, like I am, you can be pro-choice and anti-abortion. I don't support abortion. And there are a lot of Catholics and a lot of religious people like me who support the right to choose because it's not our body. And I know, look, there are people who are going to bring up the ridiculous argument that, well, so you're for murdering people. No, I'm not for murdering people. And there is absolutely nothing about abortion at a certain point that is considered murder. Now, if you want to change the laws, then you figure out a way to change the laws. But the medical community, the legal community, the police, law enforcement, they do not consider abortion to be murder. I really don't want to get into the abortion issue because it is very complicated and everybody's got their position on it. But you can be pro choice and pro life at the same time. I'm not for abortion, but I don't think it's my position, especially as a man, to tell a woman what to do with her body. If I were involved with the child, with the pregnancy, I believe I would work to convince her to have the child. But then the hardcore people who are even against abortion in the case of rape and incest. I mean, that's crazy. Not that the abortion debate is ever sane, but it just is. It's crazy, and I just think it is so wrong for the Catholic Church to consider denying President Biden or other public figures of communion because of their position on abortion rights. Thank you for joining me here on the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. Let's see what happens, and I'll be here to comment on it when the decision is made. I don't think it's going to come anytime soon. This may be just a bunch of religious rhetoric from conservatives in the Catholic Church trying to be political when they should mind their own damn business and just focus on religion. I don't think the decision is going to be anytime soon, but it's an interesting conversation. It's an interesting dilemma. And also one more thing. What about all of the Catholics that are divorced and remarried? The Catholic Church officially says you are not to take communion if you're remarried and the marriage, your original marriage, wasn't annulled. Think of the millions and millions of Catholics just here in America who are divorced, remarried, the first marriage was not annulled, and they're taking communion. You're going to deny them communion? You can't pick one group and deny communion and then give it to another group. So the Catholic Church has been hypocritical enough at times. It's time for them to get this right.